Hey!
Hola, hola. ¿Cómo está?
I realise I mostly, whenever we record, I just wait for you to speak first.
Why?
Because I always do my telephone voice hello,
Silly
so I said hey
things.
this time.
What's going on, guys?
Welcome back.
to the HNU podcast with your hosts, Urvashi
No.
and
Himalay.
thank you. Wow, no effort. See, this is what I do with guys.
Who the hell goes Urvashi?
You do.
That's weird how you say my name as well. What the hell?
Yeah, it sounds weird as well coming out of my mouth.
It does.
Okay.
Anyways, with your hosts, Himalay and Urvashi.
We don't have to say it again.
I want to say it properly.
Jesus. OCD. Okay. Anyways, today's topics. You know what? Just go in blindfolded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Enjoy the episode.
Enjoy.
Okay. So on my notes, we've written accepting your flaws and who you are and embracing who you are. Why did you want to talk about that today?
I feel like we touched on it, but we've not really spoken about how to actually fully, what's the words I'm looking for? Embrace yourself and who you are. And I feel like a big part of that is accepting the parts where your insecurities come through. So when you really deep down look inside yourself and find parts that you're not sure about, parts you don't like, parts you don't want to show about yourself, you're not going to be your most authentic self because you're not going to show the parts that maybe you fear others won't like or because you don't like yourself.
I agree with that.
And so until you embrace the fact that, okay, well, everybody has things that they're insecure about, or maybe not even insecure, just they never want to show that to anybody else, or they want to work on. Everybody has that. So until you explore that part of you, and whether you decide to ignore it or embrace it, that's something you still have to acknowledge. Does that make any sense?
A little bit. It's a bit wishy-washy, but I do get what you're trying to say.
Yeah. But yeah, you need to accept every single part of you, and if there's parts you don't like, you can work on them.
You can. It's true.
Yeah. That's kind of what I wanted to touch on.
Okay.
What do you think about it? Self-reflection, how do you if you see your flaws, whether it's external flaws about yourself or internal, how do you deal with that and move forward when you recognize it?
It's the flaws that I feel I have, right? It's a weird one with that. I don't know. I'm very aware of my flaws. Let's just put it that way first.
Okay.
And it's not something that can be fixed in just one sitting. It's ongoing. It's still going, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And in order to keep going, yeah, I feel just keep moving forward. Just keep going. I don't know. That's just the thing. It's just, look, it's going to be hard to do anything, first of all. Nothing's going to come to you easy, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the best part about it. Enjoying the part that's not easy, because in the long run, you'll be thankful knowing that you were grateful the whole entire time.
Yeah.
You know, in the whole thing about manifestation and stuff, that's what they say. You know, being grateful is always being said around manifestation. And there's a point, there's a reason for that. You know?
Yeah.
And it sucks because obviously not everyone can think the way like that because their circumstances are different. So I do understand that. You just got to keep believing. And if you don't know what to believe in, just try and believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Just try and believe in yourself.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you're going to believe in anything, believe in yourself. Because that's really the part of life that you're going to know the most is yourself.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Do not seek validation in others, but in yourself, self-validation.
Yeah.
Or is self-validation separate to that other bit?
I guess they kind of tied together, but
Okay. So what
separate.
were you trying to say there?
Okay, so
I don't know why I said it like that. What are you trying
what
to
are you
say
trying to say
there?
there? So I don't know why guys do this, right? And I'm saying this because I've recently experienced when, okay, a guy comes up to you, right, complete stranger, and says, rate me out of 10, okay? And in my mind, I'm going, and I was with another person, another girl, and we both looked at each other when we had the exact same thing in your mind. Like, why do you care what we think? Like, why do guys care what girls think about, like, ratings and stuff, right? And why can't they just seek that validation in themselves? Like, it doesn't matter what other people rate you. This goes the same for girls and guys, right?
Okay, sorry.
Like, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you or your rating out of 10. It matters what you think about yourself and how you present yourself. That's what I believe. So I feel like they need to seek validation in themselves, not go up to random people and say, rate me out of 10.
Okay. But some guys, sometimes it's nice to have a bit of validation, because sometimes, most of the time actually, guys have to, I feel like we have to like really hype ourselves up before doing things like, people walking up to a girl, because for some reason it seems so nerve-wracking, right?
Okay.
But it's because, I don't know, that we've just a lot of anxiety, growing up, that none of us realized that we had, I guess.
Yeah.
Growing up, we didn't know. And then just, I don't know,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, the fact that someone has the guts to, like, even say something like that to somebody else, like, about themselves, like, oh, like, it's just open to interpretation. You tell me what you think, kind of thing, right? It's cool, but I don't think it should affect how they feel about themselves. Like, if someone rates them lower than they think they are,
but that's just, you're right. Yeah,
right?
they shouldn't, but that's just, that's where your own way of reacting to things comes in place. Like, how are you going to react to the news? 9 times out of 10, when it's bad news, guys react badly to that. I think everyone does, not just guys.
I get that, yeah.
But when that happens, we throw ourselves. Well, I'm not talking for all the guys, but I used to do this. I'd throw myself in the bin, and then I'd force myself to start from the bottom up again, and I just kept doing that because I was in a repeated pattern. I kept doing it, and this is all mentally. Like, it felt like all of this mentally going through it.
Okay.
And then, you just got to keep going, I guess, because that's what I'll be doing, and something's going on. And who am I to disrupt that by worrying about things that are out of my control?
Yeah.
It just feels like nonsense. However, we're all human, and we always do that part. I say it like this, but obviously I do it. Like most people do.
No, it's true. Sometimes it's unavoidable, almost.
It can be avoidable, though. We just gotta really see past the crap that we put ourselves through and say, well, I can go through that, but that is there. Like, I keep saying there, like people are looking. I'm pointing here, sorry.
He's pointing ahead of himself, guys.
I'm pointing like, I can't do it in that graph. I can't do it in that graph. I don't know how to explain it.
Is it like, I can't even explain it for you.
Yeah, I know. You're terrible. It doesn't matter. It's a bit of a nonsense story anyway. But yeah, man.
Okay.
Does that answer the question?
Bad at giving examples.
No, don't say we.
Okay, I'm bad at giving examples, but sometimes we're both bad at explaining things. Does that make sense?
No, I'm just at your level then. You're just the same all the time.
There you go then.
Damn it. Okay, so did that answer your question though?
It kind of answered like the pre-part where, like, okay, you need to build up all that confidence to go up to someone to ask these things and stuff, or even just to go up and talk to like someone.
Yeah. It is hard, that courage that we have to have, and then when we get shut down, well, yeah, when you get shut down, it's just like, fucking hell, there's another one gone down the drain. But then you got your good friends around you. Don't worry, man. There's plenty of fish in the sea. You just got to keep going. See, they're good friends. Subconsciously, you're taking all that information in, so it's cool.
Yeah, and I guess there's two sides of it as well, where, okay, at least you put yourself out there and you tried, at least. Now
Yeah.
you don't have any regrets. You've done
No,
it.
what if?
No what if. It's
Did we
oh
t-
well now.
Did we talk about this? Shall I talk about it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. So we went on a Friday night. No, sorry, Saturday night.
Yeah,
Right, Saturday?
Saturday night, 'cause my birthday was on Sunday.
Sunday night.
No,
Saturday night.
Yeah.
So it was Lou's birthday, 21st. Whoop whoop, happy birthday, wicked.
Thank you. It was amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're like, I don't care. Carry on.
Yeah, we just decided to have a little party with friends and family. All the cousins. Well, most of the cousins. That was cool.
Most of the cousins, yeah.
And then we went on a night out. Now, this is where it gets juicy.
Hey, he's gonna spill some
So,
tea.
You know me. I'm cool. So hip. No. It was a bunch of nonsense. So we were in the club dancing. We met a girl. Well, I met a girl that was there.
Do you want to see the name? Okay.
No, Maxwell.
Her name's Maxwell, guys.
Maxwell. And Maxwell was short and cute. She had a vibe about her.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of the night, I think all the boys were hungry. So we were like, all right, cool, we need to go. And I didn't ask for a number or anything. Okay. Then I was in Mackey's. You good old Mackey's.
Mhm.
And
Classic on a night out.
yeah. What do we get? Oh, mayo chicken, 99p. Let's go. And with the cheese. Don't forget the cheese.
Okay.
Anyways, where was I going? Yeah, so we were in Mackey's ordering food, and I was like, "Fuck, what if she was like, maybe she could have been? I never tried. I'll never know." And
Yeah.
then I paid my food. And I said, "All right, guys, I'll be right back." And I sprinted back to the club, and she was there surprisingly, and then she was there with a family, and one of the family members goes, "Oh look, he's gonna try it," to one of his cousins, and I went. I saw that, obviously. I went, yeah, I'm going to try. So, and obviously, I was pissed as it was. So, I had the liquid look in me. I was like, fuck it, just
Liquid
go
courage.
for it. Liquid courage.
Yep.
I went, all right, cool. I was like, yo, what did we say her name was?
Maxwell.
Yo, Maxwell, I think you're pretty. Can I get your number? Right? Does that sound so bad?
No.
Right? Decent.
It's like a gentlemanly, like, oh yeah, I really like you. Can I get your number kind of thing, yeah.
Okay, so she said no, shut me down straight away.
Yeah.
But I wasn't upset because there was no longer that what if.
Yeah, at least you tried. You
At
put
least
yourself
I
out there.
tried. It was that what if that just held me back. That just like kept bugging me, and I was like, if this is gonna happen the rest of the night, I can't be asked for this. Just go. And I'm glad I did, because I don't have that what if no more.
Yeah, because then it would start playing in your mind, like, oh, I wish I'd just done this. I wish I'd just done that. But now, like,
And
you're like, all right, cool. Like,
now I feel like I'm actually ahead of it. So the what ifs I can now minimize, because I start to go into things that I actually want to try and not try.
Yeah. But that's cool though. Like, the fact that you acknowledge the fact that, okay, yeah, I have this feeling. I'm going to act on it now. I'm actually going to do something about it. I'm not just going to let it bug me the whole time.
Right.
So, yeah, no, props for you for putting yourself out there. And
I'm patting myself on the back.
Yeah. And not for being a toxic male and taking it the wrong way. You just said thanks and walked away and carried on.
I was raised right. I was raised in the right family.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I'm blessed. I'm blessed for that.
And sad times for Maxwell because she missed out.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Okay.
But, yeah,
okay.
Maxwell, what a name. Yeah, fake names being used in the podcast always.
Okay. Why do you think people care about what celebrities are doing?
Well, I wanted to ask you this because I know you have you said in one of the podcasts, I'm not sure if it was one of the released ones, but you said that as soon as someone starts talking about what celebrities are doing nowadays or who's dating who, you just straight away are like out of the conversation because you're like, this is nothing to do with you. Like, you don't
Yeah.
actually care.
The amount of times I've like, remember you lots were talking about something and I was like, really? I don't care.
Yeah, he just chews it,
like-
or
I was like-
he has the most sarcastic response. Like,
what are my
ever.
responses? What are my responses?
You're like, oh my god, no way. And we're just like, okay, we're not talking to you. Go away, get lost, bye. Okay. But no, like we can tell when you're like out of the conversation straight and you're just like, no.
Straight away.
Like, I don't care.
Shut down mode. Like, no.
Yeah. But why do you think like people care about what celebrities are doing?
I don't know. It's a tricky one, you know. I think everyone has a lot of different opinions on it. Obviously, mine. I just think it's cool because that's just they're not choosing to be in the public eye. First of all, it's just their career, their job. They love it. That's just do you call it a byproduct of that?
I guess you could say that. Like it comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the clause. So yeah, it's cool. But people looking up at them, I mean, I feel like it's obvious that people are gonna look up to people who are like, I don't know, just genetically good looking. I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say relevant.
Relevant?
I think relevancy has a thing to it.
Oh, like, nowadays, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, relevancy, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I get what you mean by the way they look.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a social standard kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not me saying that anyone can't get into it, because we can.
Yeah.
There's loads of ways to do it, you know. Just gotta be crafty with it.
No, you gotta be a certain type of talented, I feel.
Oh yeah, not everyone can make it.
you need to have some kind of talent to be able to, you know.
So, that's true. I really thought I could act at one point. Don't laugh. Excuse me.
I'm only laughing because it just reminded me of one of the videos I made with you for one of my projects, and then my teacher went, "Yeah, maybe get someone who actually likes acting."
Dare he? How dare he? Do you know why I made it? Do you know why I came across like that? Because I didn't like recording with you at the time. I don't know why.
No.
We just didn't have that relationship back then.
No, I get that. It was kind of just like I asked you and you're like, yeah, cool, whatever. Just make sure you do it before I go to bed. And I was like, okay, we need to record. Let's go.
I guess I helped you in a way because you had to be on it. If I was going to go to sleep, then you were done for. So I'm going to go to sleep.
It's true, yeah.
Put the pressure on you.
Yeah. I guess it helps with like time efficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to sneeze.
Amy.
What the fuck was that? My sneeze disappeared because
I don't know what it was. It came out well.
Okay, anyways. Right, celebrities. I think people look up to them a lot, so they care about like what's going on in their lives and stuff.
Yeah.
But to a certain point, that's kind of annoying, I feel.
Why?
It gets annoying when a person is being stalked by like reporters and things to find out who they're dating. Like it's like they're prying information out of their life.
That's fucked up.
That's not okay. Like
there've got to be like stronger laws for stuff like that, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's really sad when you hear about like, oh, like a reporter had been following this person, broke into the house, stole their thing. Like it's just terrible. It gives like the bad side of being a celebrity there's more light shown on that, I feel.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of good, but kind
of
bad.
It's like the reality of stardom and like being in the public eye and being known. It's almost like when you put yourself out there, everybody wants to know everything about you.
Yeah, it's kind of like a drug. You just need to know all the information. Then I don't know what they do with the information actually.
It's weird. I mean, I feel like with me and Mum, for example, when we talk about things like that, we always say it in like a way that we're happy for that person regardless of what's going on. It's like, oh, I heard so-and-so is dating this. That's so cool. Like, that's awesome. Like, imagine that. That's great. Kind of thing. No,
I do that too with certain celebrities that I actually think are decent people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at them like, oh, you know what? That's cool, man. Oh, mad, sick.
Yeah.
They're cool people doing cool stuff together. It's cool.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome, but yeah, it's kind of like we don't do it to take the piss, but a lot of people do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't think that's because of the people. I think it's just the way they twist the words in the newspaper. I was going to newspapers. I don't know what I was going to say. You go Jamaican. Oh shit.
Yeah. It's sad the way that media is very, what's the word? Corrupted.
Yeah. It is what it is.
There's corruption in every part of the world.
Yeah.
If we were to ever become celebrities, do you think you'd be able to handle every aspect that comes with that lifestyle?
It'll definitely test my patience.
Yeah.
But I think that I have such a good unit of people around me that it won't get to my head.
Yeah.
I don't sound so convincing, but trust me, I do. I don't know, it's just a tricky one for me.
I guess it's also because we've not really ever experienced it, so we can't really say
exactly. I don't
beforehand.
have a reference.
Yeah. But who knows if one day we ever become significant people with relevance.
Yeah, but is that what you desire?
I don't desire it. In fact, like at one point I was genuinely thinking about having like a stage name and using that to keep my privacy, like keep my real name private.
Yeah.
But then I thought, like,
it seems a bit longer.
Urvashi Limbachia is such like a star name. It's like it's so unique that I just like, no one could ever take that from me, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the other day, if you guys don't know, I was an extra in a Bollywood movie.
Hey. I'm sorry. This is hilarious.
Yeah, so on the Friday, one of my friends goes, yo, my cousin needs some extras to look Indian. So I'm like, we're Indian, we're brown, fuck it, let's go. He said, it's on Sunday. I was like, cool. Sunday rolls over, and I had to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Jumped in his car, 5:30. And then we went to another location to meet up.
Yeah.
And then when we got to that location, we waited 2.5 hours, and this was just in the car. We were just waiting for a bunch of Indian extras, and down in LC, you know how LC rolls. We rocked up with 5 cars full of Indians.
Oh my goodness!
So we rocked up to this place 2 hours later. So by this point, it's like 8 o'clock, 8:30. We got to the place, and they told us there was a barn. And in the barn was all the clothes for all the extras.
Yeah.
And so we walk in. Well, not even walk in. We walk to the barn, and they say stand in a line. Well, all right, cool. We stood in a line, and we didn't move in that lane. In that line, we did not move anywhere for 4 hours.
Oh my god!
In this line, right? So, and I don't know how time goes so fast when I'm there. I guess it's because I was just appreciating it. I'm like, oh shit, I'm here. Okay, I was thinking, who do I talk to? Like, who's kind of high? I don't know. Who's doing something with their time? Yeah. So I look over, and then I see the makeup artists. I was like, all right, cool. So I need to speak to them later, and I'm gonna have to go to them anyway because I'm gonna have to do makeup and shit.
Yeah.
Which was a weird experience. I felt like royalty at one point, but all they're doing is putting that black dirt on me because I was supposed to look like what do you call it?
Villager.
Yeah, villager worker. You know, poor. This movie was set in the 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got there, did that in the line for 4 hours. So what was that? 8:30, 9:30, 10, 11, 12. Okay, yeah. 4 hours. Yeah. 12 o'clock. All right. Well, mate got his role. He was he was supposed to be a what do you call him? A reporter. He was a reporter, and I was a villager worker. So he gave me the attire, right, and he literally gave me the long.
The kurta? Is it kurta? Not really kurta.
I don't know, something like that. It was a long
traditional village
clothing. And I didn't know at the bottom, it's like a towel, but it's very freeing. I didn't know how to put it on because I was like, I've never done this before. So
Was it like a lungi? Like just a long piece of cloth you have to deal with it? Yeah.
yeah, I thought it would be. I don't know why I thought this. I was like, oh, village worker. Okay, cool. So I looked at the clothes. They looked around, picked up something for me. Yeah, cool. You'll have that. So okay, cool. This thing smelled like at least 15 to 20 dons have worn this before me. I swear, man, it stunk so bad. I was like, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, for the experience, fuck it. Boom, put it on. For the experience. I shaved my freaking beard off. Because they told me to. It was like, oh, they didn't have beards in that back in the day. So, huh? Well, that makes sense. But at the time, I don't know, it was a bit brainwashy at that point, I feel like. Waiting for 4 hours and then, like, they're telling us things. And I'm like, what the hell? At one point, she went, stand in this line if you're not shaving. So I stood in this line. And some lady came and said, why are you standing here? Go back on that side, go back. I was like, what the hell? Well, we just got told to walk this way. But yeah, it was an interesting time. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so we actually got to the set at like 1:30, and it was cool. First of all, to see a set for the first time. I don't care how it was. It was like, wow, I'm here. You know, seeing the cameras work and like all the action and how long it actually takes to take shots. So it was just like, wow, a lot of tedious work.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, done it.
Yeah.
But anyways,
how would you rate that like overall experience?
I think this has to be one of the most bizarre ones I've done so far in my life.
Yeah, that's just a beginning though. Like imagine that.
Yeah,
it's just the beginning.
That's cool.
It is, and it's fun to see like how you've had like one experience now so far.
Yeah,
and maybe it's not been the best one, but now that's like one for the books. You know, like one of many. Let's hope.
Yeah, it was a good experience. What did I rate? Did I rate it already?
You've not rated it.
Okay, so I'd rate it out of 10. Most bizarre. Would I do it again? No.
Maybe not for that category.
Yeah.
Of what you did.
Yeah.
And that type of extra, because
and I need to know information beforehand because this was a bit like cowboyish. Like hey, look, it was an experience. I don't think I would have experienced it any other way. You know what I mean? And for them paying us, well, that's where it gets a bit techie. So lunchtime rolled over. Me and my friend jumped in his car, got the clothes off, put our own clothes on, and we jetted out of there. Because we were like, I just don't want to deal with this now.
Yeah. Besides, like, the part you needed to do was done.
Yeah, so. Like I saw everything I needed to see, and it's not really worth it, like, being an extra in that condition.
Yeah. Especially because you said it was raining as well.
It was raining, yeah, and they said they were supposed to finish at 7:30, but I got told when we got back the next day that they finished at 11. So I would have got here at home for like 12ish, 1ish. It was really crazy.
Yeah, no, that's very unprepared, definitely.
Yeah, but a wicked experience. Yo, it's like a very like polar opposites. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like you can rate it on different things, like the experience overall.
Experience
and then
10 out of 10, definitely. Yeah. No, it's a crazy experience.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It was such a in all the great like what do you call it? Great scheme of things. Is that how you say it?
Grand scheme.
The grand scheme of things, right? It's not that much of a big deal. But to me, it was fucking wicked.
Yeah. It is cool. I feel like it's just one of those things. Like, that's so cool. You get to just start a story with, oh yeah, I've been in a movie. I was in a movie, bro. Like, I was an extra in this movie.
I was in a movie. Look what name there.
In it, that's the big thing. Like, I've said, like, that's one of my goals to achieve, is my name at the end on like end credits. And I don't care what it is, regardless. It could be an extra, it could be a camera woman. Like, I'm whatever it is, directing hopefully one day, but we'll see, you know, wherever life takes me. But that's so cool how like you have a chance to have that, like in the next, ideally, like 2 years, if it comes out in the next 2 years.
Experience, just seeing that and feeling it and believing that I'm actually here, and be like, I'll be doing something like this.
Yeah.
Because I liked being there, seeing all the camera stuff go on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like a kid in a candy store fully.
Yeah.
Do you think eye contact makes a big difference
When talking to someone.
when talking to someone?
I think that eye contact does make a difference when you're talking to somebody. I think it just shows like that you're like interested, you're actually there in that moment. You're not, if your eyes are like wandering, then like the person you're talking to might just not want to carry on talking, you know? They might just be like, okay, well, they don't actually care, they're not actually listening. And some people it's kind of sad because some people don't have that, like where they can't look at you for too long. They can't look into people's eyes for too long. They have
they
to
just have a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, looking into someone's eyes is very a deep thing to do.
Yeah.
But so it's obviously going to be scary looking at someone's eyes because you don't want. Because then you start thinking like things like, oh God, do I look like a weirdo? Do I creep?
You start to overthink, especially with the overthinkers
overthinking,
like us. Yeah.
But I'm glad that I fixed. It's something that you can learn to do. Trust me, because I was one of those people that didn't want to look into anyone's eyes. I don't know. I felt really shy.
Yeah.
But you can teach yourself to look at people.
Yeah.
That's what I've done. I've definitely improved that, like looking into people's eyes and actually speaking to them.
Yeah,
Because it feels like a closer connection.
And it's like it brings in like a whole different vibe in the room. It's like, oh my God, okay, this is a conversation worth having almost.
Right.
Because it's like the other person is engaging, like they're actually talking, they're interested. Eye contact is the big thing, but it's not everything in a conversation. Like even if you have eye contact and you feel a certain way about someone saying something, it's still going to be like, okay, well, I disagree with what they're saying. So am I breaking off eye contact? Like, am I, you know, like it depends on how you react in conversations and stuff. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going off on a tangent now, but
yeah. I feel like you are.
I feel like I am too. Okay.
Well, eye contact, yes, I think it is very important, man.
It makes you come across more confident as well about what you're talking about.
And you actually are more confident as well. Like you feel more confident when you're looking at someone in their eyes because you actually listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
So you know how to like respond in a better way instead of like looking this way and I'm like, oh, what's she saying? What's she saying? I'm not paying attention. What's she saying?
Yeah.
Or anyone.
Yeah, it also makes you seem a lot more like you're comfortable. And when you're like talking to people, you want to be comfortable. Like, because there's also things where it's like, oh, if you're leaning forwards in a conversation, if you sat down and you're leaning forwards, you're interested in what's going on. But if they're leaning back, they're like not really interested. Or it could just be that they're laying back because they're so relaxed that they're like, okay, cool, this is awesome. I like how this is going.
They're in the element. They're in the space.
Exactly.
Cool.
But yeah, that's what we think about eye contact.
Yeah, man. Important. An ecosystem. To keep a conversation going, you can echo what the other person says and keep it flowing.
Yes. Okay. So recently I saw this, and I can't believe I'm saying this, TikTok, guys. I saw a TikTok because I'm not really the one to like be into TikTok like that. But anyways, I saw a TikTok and this guy was basically talking about how to keep any conversation flowing. There's this thing called the ecosystem. And what it is you echo something that the other person said in this same like previous conversation. So they might have said like, oh, they went to work like today or something. And everything else you've spoken about is like done, your conversation's ended. You could be like, oh, so you went to work today. How was it? Or like, you know, like it's kind of like it shows you're interested in the conversation. You've actually been listening because you brought it back up. And that'll make them feel comfortable and want to open up and talk about things more often as well. So there's that, and you can keep the conversation flowing if you just keep echoing back and forth.
That's cool, because I didn't realize that you're explaining what I already do. That's crazy. I should do that.
Yeah.
It's very easy for me, because I feel like, because I'm genuinely interested in people's conversation. Like, whatever conversation I have most of the time, I'm very intrigued in it, because like that's the whole point of a conversation. You're supposed to be there, like 100%.
Yeah.
So when I start listening, you know, there's the old saying, you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So you listen more, man.
Yeah. It also makes a big impact in like other people's lives if you actually do listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
So you do it naturally, which means like you're naturally like always comfortable in a conversation. And I feel like you're the type of person you're friendly with everyone, but you'll talk to, and I mean like actually like genuinely talk to and have a full conversation with people you actually want to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. And do you know what? I think as rude as that can come across, right? I think it's just the best system
I get that.
because you're not wasting anybody's time. You're not pretending to be there, and they're not pretending to be there. No bullshit. If we get along, we get along. But if I get along and I feel like, you know what, you could be a cool person to be in my friends group, like in my circle. And it's
Yeah.
not like I'm saying, oh, yeah, everyone's under me. No, it's just it's just my fucking circle, isn't it? The people that hang around, we're chilling.
Yeah. And do you think there's different levels to that as well?
What?
Like different levels to circles and like how close you guys are? Because I've recently seen that that's a thing where like it's almost like you have one circle, they're just like your closest, like they're the tightest. And then you have another circle of friends, a little bit, we're close, but not that close. And then another circle. And so on and so forth.
Yeah, I do. I have that system.
Yeah.
And there's no like disrespect to anybody. It's just cool. They know how I am, and I know how they are.
Yeah.
I know how they are. It makes no sense to me when I say it like that.
They know how I am, and I know how they are.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
That's exactly what you said.
Yeah, that's what you said to me. Okay.
You just said it like you're unsure of yourself.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what the hell? Am I saying that right?
Nah, you know each other that much.
Yeah. So there's never disrespect from my side, man. I don't think I feel like I've not overstepped. That's a lie. I've overstepped a couple of times in a couple of friendships, but I think that everyone does that.
Yeah, but that's also how you learn about like boundaries within different friendships.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I think a great way to like build relationships, right, is to honestly care about what the other person actually talking about. And not like have any other agenda but just to get to know this person. Yeah. That's just the agenda. Because that's what it's always been like. It's been like that most of the time now over my me working. When I started working all the way to now where I'm still working, but obviously something different. It's always been like just it'd be nice. Yeah. I still remember there was a guy that I spoke to, right? I was working at Mappin at the time. And my job that weekend was to go across the road where our old store used to be and give the tickets to people who do come there that want to go to Mappin and tell them, oh, here's a discount. It's moved
to over there.
Over there.
Okay.
I had to do that for like 2 days. It was so boring. But I remember that one of the days I was doing it, chilling, and a guy pulls up. He was like, oh, what's going on here, mate? I was like, oh yeah, we moved over to the other store. But here's a discount, mate. And yeah, just what you do, drive up here, boom, boom, boom. You went, what are you doing here anyway? I was like, oh, I'm just, this is my job for the day. And then he was like, oh, I remember when I was in doing something like what you were doing. He goes, honestly, it gets better. You're gonna get better and just keep going. I was like, all right, mate. Because obviously at the time, I was like, what's this guy chatting shit about, man? Yeah. When you're young, you don't really listen to when people say stuff like this, isn't it?
It's true.
Only later you kind of subconsciously have got it in your head.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, yeah, cool, mate. Yeah. Go over there. Go on.
Yeah, it's like one of them moments when you're a kid and everyone's telling you like, don't grow up, don't want to grow up, enjoy being a kid, and you're a kid like looking at them like, okay, I don't need to know this right now. I'm just a child. Like, let me live, let me live my life. Because when you're a kid, it's almost like you want to be older, you want to be an adult, you want to be free, you want to be doing all this stuff. But then when you get there, you're like, I wish I was younger. I wish I was a child again. I wish I was. It's like, and that's just a human thing. It's just how we are. We kind of just want the opposite of what we have. But until we realize that we actually are so grateful for where we are in life and what we do have, it's like, that's going to be a continuous thing. And same with that, when someone like who's elder and at a certain point, they try and give you advice and we're not there yet, we don't really take it in until we get it.
Until we experience it.
Exactly. Yeah. And when that happens, it kind of clicks in our brain. We're like, oh, this one time, this one guy said this. And now I kind of appreciate the fact that he did because I can understand it now. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no, that's cool how at the time you're like, okay, just go. Like, just do what you need to do. I've just given you the discount, just go.
And the mad thing about it is, We're so fucking young. In reality, and I think I've already brought this up before, like how let's say the 100 is let's say your battery life, right? You're on 24% right now, but you're charging. So that's kind of how I kind of see life. But we're only on 24%. We've got like a lot way to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do we do in that space? Like, do you want to change it? Do you want to like live another life? Live so many? That's a good one. Do you think that you have lived more than, how many lives do you think you've lived so far?
Personally, I believe in like soul life. So my soul is a very old soul. I believe I've lived multiple lives. There's that, and like, so we believe in reincarnation basically.
Right.
And it's not only just as humans, it's as like everything that exists. And it's crazy when I hear like other aspects of it as well. Like I remember Dad saying once, like, oh, this cat is very lucky, because we have like a stray neighborhood cat, and we used to feed it like almost every day because it had nowhere to go. And so it's almost like the way Dad saw it was, okay, well, this cat's very lucky. We must have known it in some life, in some way or another. And so now hopefully this karma will stay with us when we are one day a cat, and maybe we're a stray cat and the family takes us in from like somewhere we used to know, kind of thing. And it's like he flips the script.
Just doing good.
Yeah. And even with like, I remember one day it was raining, and I was like, oh, this is such horrible weather. And Dad goes, well, maybe for you it is, but you don't think about it in the ways that maybe the cows are loving this weather, or like the animals that need this rain, and like the crops that need to grow, they're probably grateful that it's raining and they need that. So we get what we need with the sun, with all the weathers. And then there's also other things that get what they need with the weather and stuff. So I don't know, he just showed me a lot of different perspectives when we've had conversations about it. But yeah, I think I'm a very old soul. And that's just as with experience as being a human, which is why I'm very set in my own ways. I'm very the way I am. But I'm also open-minded. I'm willing to do different things. I'm willing to put myself out there sometimes. And so and I always say I'm a very old soul because I mean, it's very evident in the way I am.
So when I said, how many lives do you think you've lived?
So many. Too many.
How did you perceive that question?
Like soul lives. Like I believe my soul is the one that's been living the different lives.
Yeah, but how many have you had? Oh, so you think that your life has obviously been in people who are alive and are past, and obviously gone through all of that.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean in this life.
In this life, how many lifetimes have I lived? I'd say every different chapter of my life is almost like a lifetime that I've lived.
Okay, so how many chapters?
So I'd say that'd be like, even the ones I don't remember. So when I was a baby, when I was born, up until like 1 year, like that, when I became a year old, that's like one chapter. That's one I'm not going to remember.
So every year is a chapter then, is what you're saying?
Every year could be a chapter, but for me, I see it as, so the first year, and then up until when I'm 5, because I still don't remember things then. So that's a whole other chapter, starting school, all of that. And then probably primary, from when I can remember it, then secondary, then like college, uni, and now I'm at a chapter where it's like, okay.
Are you at a beginning of a chapter or an end?
I'm in the middle. I'm ending one and beginning another, but I'm still in the space where I'm transitioning.
Okay. So you're starting though?
Yeah. It's like a new beginning is approaching.
Yeah.
Right?
I see that. And it makes sense.
And that's the way I've seen it, because I've always been like, okay, well, and then you can also see it as like a whole, like my whole life right now has been one chapter, and that's been student life. Like that's that. And then also I've had my childhood, just different loads of chapters, basically. But I think my main perception is of every year teaches you something. So every year could be like a chapter in your life.
Right. In a way, when I'm sure people do this because I've done it a couple of times before, but when you think that you've wasted a year, I don't think you ever waste a year, because like you said, every year teaches you something.
And it could be the littlest thing or the biggest thing.
But those little things are improvements.
Definitely. They stay with you.
Yeah. That's why when you work hard on something and you reap the reward, it feels that much better because you put so much effort into it.
Yeah. That's one thing I feel like I'm still learning to appreciate, the fact that I do put effort into things. And it's almost like I don't, because I do it automatically. because I'm the type of person to just, once I know I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't think about how much work and effort is actually put into it. So when it does come to, like, when I get the grade I wanted and stuff, I'll be so emotional and I won't realize, like, how much work I've actually put in to get this and that I do deserve
You're
it.
gonna cry.
Anyways, but yeah, and so when it comes to reaping the rewards, I'm like, okay, this is cool. I like this. I feel very lucky.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful. And like you said about, like, the little mistakes that teach you things, or just lessons that you get every year. One thing that I've really loved is Snapchat memories, because it goes back years and years from when you first started. So, like, one of the first pictures is from when I went to Wembley Stadium to sing in a choir during halftime. And that was amazing. That was an amazing experience, but it's almost like I've forgotten it because it was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And so when the day rolls around, when the picture was taken, it shows me 6 years ago today. My eyebrows were apart as hell, right? Because that's something I used to
have mono.
No, I used to, like, my eyebrow was like, this was the space between my eyebrows, yeah? And it was so bad. And I look back at my pictures, I'm like, Mom, why did you let me do this to myself? She was like, I couldn't say anything. You liked it. It was the trend back then or something. I was like, oh no. So I look back and I'm like, thank God I've grown and I've learned about, like, eyebrows and stuff. I love my eyebrows now, but look back to the pictures like, that is not it, sis.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then there's also, like, what I was thinking at the time, what I was feeling at the time, all of them. And then just, seeing the Snapchat memories, things I was doing every day since then. So it's got like 5 years, 4 years, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. Yeah, that was 5 years ago today. 5 years ago. I don't think I would have seen myself today here in this brand new location, in this beautiful new house with my family, recording a podcast. I don't think I would have ever guessed that for myself. I think back then I would have thought we were in that house forever until we all got married and went away.
Yeah, no, I had a feeling at one point, because I'm a little older, I had a feeling at one point we're going to leave.
Yeah. It was weird. It was like, when we were leaving the old house, it was like, I don't want to go because this is all I've ever known. Like, neighborhood, all, like, the house, everything. And then another part of me was like, no, you need this. You're ready for a new start. Like, you need this in order to move forward. And so it was really like, I was torn between the two ideas of, okay, no, you love it. You want to stay here. It's fine. And then, no, it's time for a new, like, you know it's time.
Yeah, with that situation, I think what happens there is, what I believe happened is your inner child and you as an adult are fighting each other.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want to hurt your inner child, but he's pissing you off. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a little bit of a tug of war.
Yeah.
And I guess eventually you two just like learn how to
adapt
to work with each other.
Yeah.
You know?
And
that's what I feel like I'm getting to that point where me and my inner child are starting to work together. Like, I feel like I'm starting to become myself as one. It's weird, but yeah. Something's changed. Something feels different.
I see that. It's like you're connected a lot more. And you're able to see eye to eye with who you were and who you are. And that's a good thing, because it's like you're together on this journey. And you should never lose your inner child.
No. Don't ever kill your inner child. Because you need him.
Or her.
Or her.
Or it.
Or they.
Whatever your he, she, it, they.
Yeah.
Maybe. Never lose your inner child. What do you think about, like, spirit animals? You know how people are like, oh, this is my spirit animal.
Yeah.
Do you have a spirit animal?
I like that. I like the idea of a spirit animal. It's cool. And yeah, definitely. Why not take it? Imagine if we do die and then in our whatever we go to when we go pass away, we go into this realm where we've been believing in everything this whole time. You know, believing in spirit animals, believing in all the stuff in our religions and thinking about peace and love and all this the whole time through. It's not gone anywhere for no. It's not just like dusted. I believe it's gone somewhere for you to go to when you are gone.
Yeah, it would be cool to. I remember you said this once, like, one day when we no longer exist in our human form, to still have all the memories and be able to watch it back like an old video.
Yeah.
To be able to just skip to like, and not even skip, just like watch through whatever we
Yeah.
want to watch through, our favorite parts.
And the cool thing about that is when you're able to go through the parts, you can just click it and you'll actually be there. You're just in autopilot.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything. You're just enjoying everything that's going on.
Yeah. That's cool. That's a cool thought.
Yeah.
I hope something like that is like, I hope in the afterlife, if there is an afterlife. Do you believe in the afterlife?
Yeah, I believe in the afterlife. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, not definitely, but like I feel like you can either not believe it and live your life, and that's cool, or you can believe in it and have fun with certain things. I'm not saying that if you don't believe it, you're not having fun. I just mean, I don't know. I guess in life you just gotta have your little joys sometimes as well.
Yeah.
Because then you can look back at those little times and be like, they were the ones that actually mattered the most.
Yeah.
It's funny, I'm talking like I'm a fucking old 70-year-old. I've just got a bare life to live, man. Let's go!
Same.
Do you feel your age, though? I don't. I don't feel my age. I feel like I'm 20.
I feel like I'm starting to feel my age. Is that weird?
You're 20?
You're 20?
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I feel like I'm starting to feel my age, but I also am not, weirdly. When I turned 18, I felt like I'd turned 16. When I turned 19, I was like, okay, now I feel like I'm 17. So I always feel like I'm 2 years behind in like experience and in like what I'm feeling. But in reality, I am actually 21, and I'm starting to feel that I'm actually 21. I'm starting to be able to feel the freedom I have at 21, if that makes sense. But yeah, and so it goes both ways. But no, the reason why I asked about spirit animals and things like that is because a lot of people don't believe it, and like I feel like I want to one day take the aura tests, where it's like it'll show you what color your aura is. Yeah. And it's like mixed, and it gives you like a card of like what it means.
Does it?
Yeah, I've seen it in a couple like different.
How do you do it?
I'm not quite sure. I think you have to actually go to like there's sometimes carnivals have it and things like that, but they're not very common where we live. Like we'd have to go to like obviously like a capital city or something. Oh, okay. But I'd want to do them tests one day where it's like it shows you your aura and what it means. Yeah. It's like what vibe you give out. But yeah, and like spirit animals and things. A lot of people don't believe in them, and a lot of people think it's just people do it for fun. But yeah, it's like it is what it is. You either believe in it or you don't. Regardless, live your life. Yeah.
Live your life. Okay. So, question of the day: what is worth preserving?
Do you want me to read it?
Preserving. I keep saying it wrong, but it's right. That's what it is. Oh my god! I've been reading this whole time, and I'm going back to my old roots. Shit. What is worth
preserving?
Preserving, yeah.
There you go. What's worth preserving? Okay.
What is that mean now?
Okay. It's basically what's worth keeping with you. I'd say
saving. It'd be saving yourself.
Go on.
What are you saving? That's what I'd see that question as.
I'd say as what are you keeping with you from what you've had and what you've got.
Okay, go on.
And the way I perceive that like that is I'd keep with me my morals, who I am. That doesn't mean I don't want to grow. I want to grow, and I'm going to keep growing, regardless of whether I want to or not. But I want to keep my inner child with me. I want to keep my innocence. I want to keep the fact that I can be very, gullible, because I can be. I want to keep that with me, though, because that's a part of who I am. I want to keep my...
That's awful, by the way.
What?
You want to keep your fucking gullibleness?
Yeah, because I'm gullible, but up to a certain point. Like, I'm not gullible about everything, but little things.
That's a weird thing to want to keep, though. I don't know. That's a very specific thing.
It's because I feel like it's just me. I don't know.
You attach gullibleness to you.
To a certain point. Not a lot. I'm not very, very gullible, but to a slight bit I can be.
I think you should use another word then, because I don't think you're describing the word gullible.
Okay.
Yeah.
What word
That's
would you
fine.
suggest?
So here's what I think gullible is, first of all, yeah? Like, let's say some guy came over to you and said, oh, drink this drink and you'll get £100,000. And you'll be like, oh, come on then.
That's not gullible.
I think that's gullible.
That's not gullible.
Yeah.
Gullible is when you're easy to believe little things. I don't think it's big things. I don't think that's gullible. I think that's just you're too trusting.
Oh, I guess so, yeah, no, you're right.
So it's like, you know, when you're like, oh, look,
Trusting
there's something in the sky, I would look. That's like my type of gullible. But yeah. But yeah, I'd want to keep my priorities. Doesn't mean they don't have to change. I just want to know. I want to remember my journey. I want to keep that with me. I want to keep it close to my heart. I want to remember who I am as a person.
If I could, well, okay, with this, the things that
Yes.
I'd perceive, but it gives me perceive. How do I say the word again?
Read it right now.
Read it because it looks the same.
Preserve.
Yeah, preserving.
Preserve.
Preserving. It sounds like a weird word to say. Anyways, I say like, what things is it worth saving? What's worth saving? And in the booklet, I'd written my positivity is worth saving.
Preserving, yeah.
Like, let's say, like, everything else was going wrong in my life. The one thing that I'd want to preserve is my positivity. Because if my positivity goes and I'm all darkness all the time, mentally, I'm not helping anyone.
Or yourself.
Or myself. That's why that positivity has to be there. Boom, grab onto that shit. Go.
So you think that answer stands? Okay.
Definitely.
So I guess that's what we'd preserve, guys.
Wow.
Not persevere, not perceive.
Not perceive.
But yes.
Well, anyways, guys, I hope you liked this episode.
If you liked it, please like and subscribe. Make sure to share if you genuinely liked it. And yeah,
if you genuinely liked it, that's true. And take care, guys.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
See you next week. Bye.
Salams.